Hello, hello, wonderful person. Let's breathe into the auspiciousness, the good fortune of the present moment where we find ourselves. The eternal now holds the temporary now, and it holds it with such truth and compassion and beauty and purity and love. And that's where we're meeting to begin what humans measure as the year 2023. Breathing. I tell you that the most miraculous thing about breath, of course, it does all sorts of things. I mean, your immune system starts to increase its power as soon as you take conscious breaths. Amazing things happen in your hormonal chemistry. Stress hormones release and the good feeling hormones increase. And why I think that happens, why I know that happens, is because when we take conscious, deep breaths, we are saying yes to our life, yes to being here as human, and yes to the infinite optimistic power that we have to take in and then to share, to take in and then to share. Because what has come to me as the title, as the theme, as the overarching and foundation of 2023 is that 2023 is the year of the true voice. It is the year of your true voice, our true voices, sharing and singing, whether it's in our mind or in our environments or with others or through media. It is the year of the true voice. Oh, congratulations, dear brave human warriors, because we've been through some intense stuff. And when we look from maybe a surface level, temporal now eye, we might see some still voices that are not true, whether they're in our psyche or in the world. But that is not what the year of the true voice means. The year of the true voice is more than the voice of the good and the bad, the yes and the no, the this and the that, the up and the down, the duality of this grand existence that we say yes to with every inhale and we say yes to with every exhale. The year of the true voice is the voice of the soul, the voice of love without conditions, the voice of the same exact creative power that made the heavens and the earth. And we have been doing our human task of dismantling that allegiance to the voice of the darkness, the dark master, as I like to call that voice. And so imagine that the eternal now that holds the temporary now is also the true voice that holds the voice of the seeming opposites in duality, which might seem like blasphemy, is also good and bad, because good and bad are just value judgments of a human mind or human minds. It's not the eternal essence of anything. Love is everywhere and in everything. Again, blasphemy. Our job here is to learn to enjoy it. And when we're enjoying love being everywhere and in everything, we don't do horrible things to one another. And we're able to master those voices. Master the voice of the ego. The ego, the definition of the ego is the affirmation of separateness. And love is the affirmation of oneness, of unity. So when we're in the true voice, we can work with those good and bad voices. We can work with an ego that says, "Oh, I'm so great," and owns it as my precious, rather than because you are so great. I mean, you are great, by the way. The true voice is not about diminishing accolades and praise and adoration and all of that, but the true voice knows that that amazing greatness comes because you have aligned yourself with the ever renewing and ever sustaining oneness of your internal being. And so 2023 being the year of the true voice means that we now know, we now have within our grasp, pouring to us, if we say yes, because we still have free will, and that can be a rat bastard humdinger, because we think we're saying yes to good, but we're not. We're just, I have whole stories about free will, but this activation, this prosperity activation, just let it trickle in and let it open up your definition of freedom and willingness. And then going back to the true voice can direct those value judgments of good and bad that usually start with whether you're good or bad. I will tell you this, you are good and you are bad. I mean, because you freaking human, we're human, but for those few enlightened souls on the planet, I mean, we are just in a game of measuring. And then living from the true voice has such a lightness of spirit about the measuring. So as we move into 2023, the lightness that comes from love, that comes from the energy that said, and let there be light, and then there was dark, because how there could have light without dark? That's the whole game here in creation. Well played, infinite creator within me and around me and you. And as we come into the true voice is able to direct our imagination, which is the same exact creative power that imagined, let there be light and dark. So we can play this game of forgetting and remembering. And then at the age that we're in right now, we're at the end of an age, an era called the Kali Yuga. And what that means from the Vedic language is the age of destruction. And when something new needs to be built, if you have like a home that is just beyond repair, really, sometimes you tear it down. Or a relationship beyond repair needs to be taken down so that something new can be built. And we are now straddling the Kali Yuga age and the Golden Age. And I say, if you're listening to me right now, you and I and all of us, so many of us, let me tell you what, don't be deluded by thinking there's just a few people on this planet that are not, with every bit of their being, wanting to be able to live from that level of the true voice, because it's like we're coming out from the sleeping cells all over the world into this awareness. The sleep really is not realizing that we're so connected and part of the oneness, and we're waking up to the fact that we are connected. So this true voice, I lost my train of thought. I love that, by the way. If you know anything about me, the true voice delights in the seeming play here on the planet. Doesn't lament it, but with great force. And I say, if you know me, fierce feminine force, we move forward advocating for the one. And prosperity, the definition of prosperity is to strengthen, to flourish, to grow. I mean, to thrive. And when the true voice is directing the current of the imagination, I think that's where I was before, the current of the imagination force, then the true voice is able to direct that creative power into your personal, vibrant physical health, sustainable happiness, which has everything to do with accepting what is so that you're not wasting your energy fighting it, so then you can amend it, so that you can then be part of, within your own being in the world, this lasting harmony, different notes playing together in beautiful melodies, which is the ultimate purpose of creation in any event, is to pretend to be separate until we learn to play together in this vast symphony orchestra called the cosmos, the universe, the multiverses, all the different names. And then to be able to live in ever renewing and flowing prosperity plus. And we know the prosperity has to do with these squiggles, as I call them, the power agreements that people call money. My particular devotion on this planet has a lot to do with dissolving the delusion of lack and all the insidious pain it causes. And as the feminine energy of nurturing and mother bear energy comes into play, regardless of your gender classification or none, it really doesn't have much to do with that. But the feminine force, including the golden planetary mother, Mother Earth, knows how to feed her children, knows how to provide shelter, education, and a foundation for them to be able to go and imagine and live beautiful life paths. So when that money or those squiggles or the prosperity power aligns with that, not just the masculine activating that then can become harsh or depleting or cut off, or the feminine current in distortion is weak and parasitic and manipulative, just trying to get needs met. Both are just trying to get needs met. The only inherent evil, there is no true inherent evil, in my opinion, that whatever true evil is results from numbing off to the connection of our soul and the connection of one another's souls. And then we just say and do and don't do things that really hurt and harm. But the true voice, welcome. The true voice has such compassion for that and helps us listen to that true voice. So, right now, I invite you to take some 360-degree breaths as we start this new 365-degree year, letting your ribs open up like gills, using your imagination to see that your whole body expands and contracts in the natural vibration of life force energy. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose or your mouth, knowing that you're breathing in energy waves. Life force energy rides on oxygen molecules, and you can direct it with your inherent soul superpower to those places on your body that might need some soothing and revitalization. If you so choose, if your eyes aren't already closed, let them close and let your gaze go to the spot right between your eyebrows, known as the Ajna chakra. And it's a center that helps us direct our soul's will into our human experience. And the will being the strength and power to direct. And let your whole body take in from every spot of your skin, too, not just through your nose, this revitalizing life force energy. Revitalize to bring vitality, life, conviviality, that life force playing with other life force energy. And in this space, listen to the voice of your true infinite self. You might even imagine that voice as a personification of you, your higher self in front of you. And in this very potent, high vibrational, supported moment, listen to the voice and hear the message of your soul, of the infinite oneness. And if you haven't already been feeling this or expressing this in relationship to the true voice, let the energy of appreciation and gratitude to you, to your infinite self, all of your human experience selves, that you are able to have lived a life that has given you this moment. And then bringing yourself back to normal waking consciousness. What just happened there on a scientific level is that your brain waves started to move out of a more active beta into the more vibrationally connected to your infinite power energy. Why it's recommended to meditate, it can be as simple as a few moments of breathing, opening up to listen to a voice. And if you didn't hear that voice, you might have had impressions. I know that sometimes my true voice I actually hear with my physical ear, although it's rare. I then hear with my mind's ear or my eternal ear, and I also hear the words. And sometimes the energy just comes as so much vibration that I'm not able to translate it to my human language, and I just feel it as energy. And sometimes that energy just might be space. But if you're thinking that you didn't hear anything from your true voice, oh, the true voice loves space and grace. I'm coming to you right now. If you have seen this environment, to a beautiful friend of mine's home. She's one of the most powerful, alive, creative, joyful forces on the planet. This is her home in Montana that I have the blessing to be with family and friends for this transition. And I knew I was coming here. I made these arrangements a couple months ago, and I had never been to Montana. I didn't even know where Montana was on the map. I backspace deleted that years ago. I thought it was kind of center middle. Turns out it's upper left. And it's next to Washington State, where my sister in law and brother in law and niece live. When they found out I was coming here, and my brother in law's from Montana, they said, "We'll come." And then friends of theirs and ours live in Montana and or have family here and came to visit for the holidays. And it's just been an extraordinary experience of people I've known and loved for years, and also meeting new, amazing, high vibrational people that on this planet, if you're alive, you've probably gone through some intense stuff. And maybe even at this moment, you're going through intense stuff. But I'll tell you what my true voice said to me, for me personally, and for everyone to share. And it brought tears to my eyes. This is for all of us. It said, "Cindy, it's going to be easier from now on." So I say to you, it's going to be easier, more full of natural ease. Because as you listen to your true voice, that's like taking up every superhero tool and energy that you've ever had and being able to use it to serve yourself as part of the one. Because the true voice, true prosperity that's being activated through you and I being together in whatever temporal now, but definitely the eternal now that we're receiving this and sharing this. It is like the Musketeers, one for one and one for all. Your personal prosperity plus is a result of, yes, what you've created, but now it's time to move into an age. Whereas I say, from the fierce feminine prosperity power, no child needs starve. No child need be without education, nor adult, nor any of us children. We're all children of the female form on this planet. No children of the mother needs to have this experience. And as we go on gathering this strength and power, waking up, I was recently driving through North Jersey, New York City, Brooklyn, and then into Long Island, and I was just struck with our numbers. And having recently been in Egypt and in Cairo, I mean, our numbers. There are so many of us. And as we just look up and see soul to soul, the oneness in each of the manyness, there's nothing that can stop us. That's what I was just saying to everyone. Oh my goodness, nothing can prevent us from building a new golden, prosperous plus age, except perhaps the fear of what will happen if we leap. There's a song by Jason Mraz, who I think is one of the most high vibrational singers that I've had a relationship with, via internet and phone and all of that. He and I don't know each other personally yet, Although I have donated to his foundation, he has a beautiful nonprofit foundation, and I so appreciate who and what he is in the world. There's a song called Make It Mine, and it's been what I've been waking up with for the past few days, and it cycles through my existence at times. And the beginning of the words go like this: listen to the voice, the one that tells you to taste past the tip of your tongue, leap, and the net will appear. And I always add nets. There's so many nets. Having done trapeze, I love levels of nets. It's a good feeling. Leap and the nets will appear, and then bounce and have fun with it. Because this universe is an eternally benevolent, merciful one. Whoever the greater is within you and around you is one of compassion and mercy, and is helping us right now, pouring support to us. There's this wonderful perspective of what overwhelmed means from the Abraham Hicks lineage. And overwhelmed literally means having so much support coming to you, but not knowing how to receive it or saying no to it. But let's be whelmed, let's receive it. And today, dear, powerful, amazing, beautiful being, brave, warrior for pleasure and for happiness and for harmony and vibrant health. Oh, let's, for the bodies, take care of the bodies from the level of energy plus. I want to leave you with a quote. Well, actually, two quotes. What came to me this morning, this is January 1st in the year 2023, was something that I wrote years ago when I started leaping and the nets started appearing. And I can tell you the nets didn't look like nets to me in the beginning. They looked like the opposite, like, hellfire damnation, because that was my perspective as I was detaching from relationships and ways of being that I thought I needed at all costs to be safe and secure and loved and loving and all of that. But this was my first venture was called Cindy Unleashed. And it was the first thing where I thought, what can I do for myself and the world? How can I channel these great gifts that I've received? And in a lifetime of seeking the more and going through, the valley of the shadow of death. And it was Cindy Unleashed was the first forum. Then there was the Galactic Council of Women, All Genders Welcome, and still is. And then the Prosper Plus Empire, because I am an Empress of Infinite Supply and Radiant Love. And you can be anything you want to. And now the Gobs and Oodles. I mean, it's Facebook community is being live streamed to this too. An incredible group of human beings, all genders, but women or anyone that respects and reveres the feminine principle, the female body, and the energy of mother, attracting and mastering gobs of money and oodles of power, uplifting the world. Sweet Lord. I know this is a lot what I'm saying right now. Let the vibration come of a woman who is just on fire to create the life of her dreams, which is one that serves everyone and everything, as well as my infinite pleasure and happiness. And then the Fierce Feminine Prosperity Power Program, which is, in my experience and having traveled the whole world and received the most ancient and esoteric teachings and most mainstream leading edge practices, is the most extraordinary experience of the energy of the cosmos, of the divine coming into our human experience to align us fully with our power, including our prosperity power, which includes those squiggles on paper or a screen or those power agreements people call money, so that we can direct it for true lasting harmony for all. Okay, that was a lot. But this is what I wrote. And I think it's really amazing what comes through us when we allow that voice to come through. And this is what I wrote, and I'm going to read it right now. Each and every one of us has within us the exact same creative power that made the heavens and the earth. Imagine that we're not just part of this vast universe, but that we have the same power that made the universe within us. Breathe that in. I did it for myself this morning. That same power that made galaxies and black holes, oceans and volcanoes, dolphins and fireflies, flowers and panthers, weather and gravity, personalities, oh my, and people. It exists within us. It's how we create anything. We imagine and then we create. See? Exact same power. The game here on this planet then is to consciously access that incredible source of power, of true love and possibilities, and imagine with it, create with it, serve others with it, and enjoy this business of living the best that we can. And then I said this about that dark voice. You know, this is the year of the true voice, but the dark voice, what we are doing together in this moment is designed to meet those unpleasant voices and energies that keep us small, tortured, dissatisfied, and unhappy. It's designed to meet those voices with strength, compassion, fierce compassion, and tender, not idiotic compassion, and forgiveness. And this moment is designed to unleash the enormous positive life force energy that you have cultivated over your life and is now ready to be expressed. And then it goes on and on. All right, dear wonderful person. This is a quote from the avatar Meher Baba. I mean, said that the energy of the words that came from him, he's no longer in the body, but ever present. That energy, it limits it with gender, but has the power of like every word or letter, like an atom bomb of support for you. So I offer this for your true voice to be able to be the master of the voices of the this and the that, and allow you to then create a life that is full of, oh, wait till you hear this. It's so amazing, this quote. It's not even a quote, it's guidance from the infinite truth. Learn the art of taking your stand on the truth within. When you live in this truth, the result is the fusion of the mind and the heart and the end of all fear and sorrow. It is not a dry attainment of mere power or intellectual knowledge. A love which is illumined by the intuitive wisdom of the Spirit will bless your life with ever-renewing fulfillment and never-ending sweetness. You matter so much. How you feel matters to you and to everyone and everything. And in this moment, dear, beautiful, amazing, wonderful being, bless yourself with the power of your true voice, with ever-renewing fulfillment and never-ending sweetness. Bless those that you love with ever-renewing fulfillment and never-ending sweetness. And bless this world with the authority vested in you as a spark of all that is, with ever-renewing fulfillment and never-ending sweetness. Amen, so be it. Amin, Jai Baba, so it is, so hum, alleluia. Let's have fun. Happy 2023, the year of the true voice. Love, prosperity, power, and blessings, dear wonderful, beautiful friend and colleague of mine. Mwah.